starting now that I'm doing
We're going to start the meeting. Pledge of allegiance.
board meeting. I'm at the board meeting.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll be back.
Okay.
We're just doing signature stuff.
No, just say, you say
Adequate
present.
notice
You
of
say
this
present.
meeting has been provided as is required by Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, with respect to the Home News Tribune to publish the same. This announcement must be entered into the minutes of the meeting. For those attending the meeting today, please be aware that all board meetings are recorded via audio. Roll call.
Chairman Engel,
Here.
Commissioner Frankel,
Present.
Commissioner Moskowitz,
Here.
Commissioner Katz,
Here.
Commissioner Jello,
Here.
Commissioner Benjamin.
Here.
Okay. We have other hold for commissioners that we want to go through as well,
Okay.
okay, besides the cure letters. So I have, I'll just read the categories, is that okay? Voted 2 ballots. ID not provided. Moved out of county. Borough exceeded limit. Certificate missing. No ballot enclosed. And we have an incomplete borough portion. Someone has Nancy Pinkin in the borough portion.
That she
Where
was
they
the,
filled it out.
she was the bearer, or?
Yes,
Can she-
but we can clearly see that.
Why can't she be the bearer?
She can, but she didn't sign it, I don't
Oh,
know, they
okay.
feel like it
just
Okay,
wasn't
okay,
in it.
got it,
Okay.
okay.
Okay,
So I make a motion that we reject these ballots.
You have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
okay, cure letters. We have printed signature, missing signature. And then now we're gonna do the signature doesn't match.
So do you need to vote on the first 2, or
Yeah,
make a motion to reject the first 2 categories?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
yeah, we need the other ones on. Yeah.
Okay. Reject.
Yep, reject.
Yeah. Reject.
Pardon? See. Sure.
Reject.
Yeah.
The signature's inside. You have to take the ballot out.
Oh, didn't see it, I think we did the signature. Okay.
Reject.
Reject.
Check.
No.
It's a secure letter,
Can't make
right?
it in.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
not
Reject.
secure. Reject. Reject.
The only thing is that, yeah, it's too bad, right?
Reject.
You just got tired. It doesn't look like the right signature.
Reject.
Check.
Dots, this is-
Yep, we're done. That's it. Yep,
Oh, okay,
that's all we have right now.
all right.
That's amazing.
You guys haven't sat through hours of this stuff.
I know.
Commissioner comments?
Not at this point, thank you.
Public comment? You've got your-
Good afternoon, members of the board. Charles Cradaville from New Brunswick. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, community newspaper available online at newbrunswicktoday.com. I'm just at a loss because apparently your website said this morning that this meeting was supposed to be at 5 p.m. As you recall, I've requested multiple times that someone on the board, someone in the staff, send me notice of your meetings so that I can know the time, date, and location. And apparently there was even an error in the notice for this meeting that was disseminated, albeit not on your website. This is unacceptable, and I think that especially with 2 new members on the board, this is an easy thing to fix. Always update the website when there's a meeting. It's not hard, and also, I think it would be the right thing to do to honor my request and send me notification of your meetings, because I am the only member of the public that's chosen to come out today, and many times, me and my camera are the only ones here representing the constituents you serve. So I think at a minimum, you know, that stuff should be fixed before you meet again. I'll note the board administrator is absent from this meeting. So we have no report on all the problems that are taking place around the county as we speak. Is there a representative of ES&S here?
Not here, no, they're at the polls.
Okay. As I mentioned, there's widespread problems with their equipment, led to the disenfranchisement of many voters today in our county. My polling place, they said it took them 2 hours to get the thing working. Does anyone have any explanation for how this happened, what the problem is? Has it been fixed? I'm hearing from people still right now that there's long lines, and that, you know, this is a real serious concern, and I did try to warn this board and the county commissioners about this shady company after their screw up in the April 20th New Brunswick election. I know some commissioners spoke to ES&S and had concerns that that their program was screwed up, and why aren't they being asked to account for their problems and their role in this at one of these meetings? Will you ask ES&S to come and explain themselves?
Well, we will in the future, but right now it's more important for them to be at the polls to fix whatever the problems are. And it is totally under review.
Okay, can you tell folks anything about the cause of the problems? Is it user error or equipment failure?
It's not the ES&S equipment failure.
Are you talking about today, Charlie?
I'm talking about today, yes.
This is statewide. My understanding, and it's just an understanding, is that the router connecting the e-poll books to the SVRS, the statewide voter registration system, was supplied to us by the state of New Jersey, and that was the prime problem. It's not otherwise connected to the internet. It was used to connect directly to the SVRS, and it was only used, necessary for our purposes today, was so that the current information as to who voted in early voting and who got a vote by mail ballot could be on each e-poll book. That was done first thing in the morning. That was first downloaded. We really did not need that connection afterwards. But my understanding is that they were all, how do I put this? Each time a voter tried to check in, the system went through the router to try to go to the SVRS to check to see if this person was there, which was not necessary because it was already on the record. Because people were doing that all over the state of New Jersey, everything was totally slowed down. We didn't need that. So ultimately, it was the problem was identified, and we were told people to turn off the router, because it was not necessary. So we didn't have to check back to that, which eliminated the delay. That was the story. So it was not. This was equipment provided by the state of New Jersey for our use, for use of anybody in the state of New Jersey. If you check other counties, you'll find that I don't know all of them, but many of them at least, and many of them that I know of directly have had the same problem.
Do you know how many polling locations were affected by this?
No.
Not right away. We will though, in the future.
Okay, and does the Board of Commissioners support extending the hours this evening for voting to make up for the lost time that the county voters experienced today?
That's not our determination. That's really going to be determined at the state level. We will do whatever the state says we have to do.
Okay. I would certainly support and have asked the Attorney General to extend the hours of voting tonight to make up for the disenfranchisement of so many people who came out to vote today.
Charlie, your time is up, but you can come back for 3.
Thank you.
You could continue for 3.
Thank you. So I guess when can the public expect an accounting of these problems?
I think we have to wait till the polls close before we can even look at it.
Okay, so reasonably, because I don't know, I know you have hearings scheduled for challenges, but you don't necessarily have a regular meeting until next month. Can you make a commitment to have some kind of timeline for getting, an explanation? I mean, the administrator's not even here today. I'm sure he's busy, but this is the number one issue. This is a serious problem. So when...
We really can't commit to a time at this time.
Okay, so we don't know how many people were affected, how many locations are closed, no ES&S here, no administrator here, and the public is just left to guess, when we might figure out what's going on here, and that's just unacceptable. So I would ask the board to schedule a special meeting.
We will discuss it.
I hope you will, and I hope you will demand that ES&S, a company that's received millions of dollars, an out-of-state company that's received millions of taxpayer dollars to deliver equipment that's going to serve the public for an election, demand that they show up for the meeting and answer all questions from the commissioners and the public. I think that's the least they can do. And as I've expressed, I've had trouble just getting basic answers out of them for 6 months now after that screw up back in April. I'm very concerned, and I think that you folks are in the position where you can do a lot to get a resolution to this problem. So I'm kind of shocked that there's not a report being made right now by someone to the board about these problems. In fact, the person who should be doing that is absent from the meeting. I'm here giving the board the update on the problems. And thank goodness I'm here, and thank goodness I was able to find the meeting. But the public deserves so much better, and we're just at a precipitous point in this country where we need people to have faith in our elections. We need we need to be easy to vote. You shouldn't have to go once in the morning, and then if it doesn't work, come back at night. And the people who are responsible for that need to be held accountable so that we can do better and never have this happen again. So I'd like to hear from all the commissioners if you have any thoughts on this issue before you close your meeting. But I'm deeply concerned, and I hope that you take my concerns to heart and act on them. Thank you.
Anybody want to comment? We really have no answers ourselves. Other than what we
Well,
know.
I'll say one thing. Today is election day. Our administrator is at her offices fielding issues, problems, and questions. If he wasn't there, because we normally are also there, and we're here. So someone has to do that, and we have currently ongoing potential issues. So that's where he is. We have people from ES&S, I don't know how many number of people we have from ES&S out in the field and in the office to handle any of the technical issues. That's where they are. It's more important for them to help on continuing the operation of the election today and now than to be here. That's as much as I want to say.
The other thing I'd like to say is I think Commissioner Katz explained that one of the fallouts from today was equipment that was not ES&S's equipment, but was from issued from the state of New Jersey. So as you demand, or you saying you demand to have ES&S at a meeting, you should be demanding the state of New Jersey to be at the meeting. So that's something that, if you want to do that, I mean, you're putting the blame on a vendor that you have apparently a bone to pick with. But from what we know, limited, this was an issue of communication of devices that was issued by the state of New Jersey. That's all I have to say.
Anybody else? Right. Well, we're not adjourned,
We're not
because we're
adjourned.
open all day. Yeah, okay.